Today I'm talking all about rotisserie chickens. I have recently fallen back in love with rotisserie chickens. It is a super easy way to make a bunch of meals. I prefer to get them from Sam's Club because you can get a huge chicken for I think like $5 or $6. Super cheap, and it's already cooked, so you don't have to do anything to it. You could cut it or shred it. I like to shred it because there's a lot that I do with shredded rotisserie chicken. I have a container of it over here. I'm going to shred this little dude. This dude came from Publix and he's kind of small and he's kind of, I'm not gonna say pathetic, but I'm thinking it. Anyway, I have 4 different recipes today that I'm going to show you that are all about using shredded rotisserie chicken. I have 2 recipes that could be like lunch ideas or like super quick meals, and then I've got 2 that require an oven or a toaster oven. You could do one of them in the air fryer. So I've got chicken salad cups that I'm gonna make first, and I made these the other night just because I was hungry. We had some rotisserie chicken and it was really quick for me to throw it together, and I thought I wanted to share that with you guys. I'm going to make a barbecue chicken sandwich. I'm not making the barbecue chicken. I have shredded rotisserie chicken and I've got some low carb barbecue sauce in the fridge. It's not called low carb barbecue sauce. It's Arthur Bryant barbecue sauce, and I think it has 3 net carbs per 2 tablespoons. You have to check the carbs on your barbecue sauces just because they can be really high in carbs if you're not careful. I'm also going to be making a chicken enchilada casserole. And then the last recipe I'm going to be sharing with you is chicken taquitos. Now, the enchilada casserole goes into the oven. The chicken taquitos you could bake or you could put in the air fryer. We don't have an air fryer, so I've been baking them. We use convection when we bake anyway, which is basically an air fryer function. It's just the old tech version of an air fryer. Anyway, they're so fast, so easy, and I wrap them up individually, so they're really great for like lunches or on-the-go meals. So I really love those. This will be the 3rd or 4th time that I've made them, and I'm going to tweak those just a little bit this time because my mom has asked me to include some fajitas in them when I make them this time. So I'm going to be inserting the recipe cards as I do in this video for each recipe. I'm not going to be adding into the recipe card the tweaks for these recipes. I'm just gonna give you the basic, and you can add or subtract anything from these recipes that you want, but I'm just giving you the basic recipe. So if you add or subtract anything, do your own recipe math. You're a big kid, I'm sure you can figure it out. So first I'm gonna shred this chicken. Alright, our first recipe is going to be the chicken salad cups. So I have my butter lettuce here, and it's already been rinsed. Of course, I've got my shredded chicken. I'm using yogurt, mayonnaise, and Dijon mustard to make my dressing. I have some bacon. Now, you've seen the recipe card already. I'm going to change it up a little bit when I make it though. I have this pimento cheese. It's a jalapeno pimento cheese. And I want to use what's left of this in my chicken salad. I did this the other day and it was really good. So I'm gonna mix this in with my chicken. So that's kind of where I'm gonna get my jalapeno flavor. I might actually skip the bacon this time. I think that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm tweaking it just a little bit, but I think it's gonna be fine. Again, you're cooking, you're not baking, so you can switch out really anything you want to. This is gonna add some fat to the recipe, which is good for a keto recipe. So I'm gonna start with some chicken. I'm gonna stir in my pimento cheese. And I know it's a lot. I want to get rid of it though, so. Add some mustard, some mayonnaise, but just a little bit because there's already some in that pimento cheese. I've already shaken my Dijon, so I'll squirt some of this in there. Or all over my hand, that's cool. I love when that happens. And then, I guess we'll see on the yogurt. I'm doing this by eye and by flavor. But this is something that's like super fast, super easy, and doesn't take much prep. You could, you know, dice some onions and some celery to put in here. But this is something that's great for like a quick lunch. Let's taste. I want a little cilantro in there. Ooh, that's perfect. So these are sort of like a pimento cheese, shredded chicken, Southwest style keto taco, I guess. It's a lettuce cup, but I love the butter lettuce for this just because it's like sturdy, and I like the texture of it for this. It's so good. So I'm gonna sit down and eat this. This is gonna be my lunch, and then I'll come back and we'll make a barbecue chicken sandwich. Okay, our next recipe is going to be a barbecue chicken sandwich. Again, you can use your own barbecue sauce, you can use your own barbecue chicken. You don't have to do it this way. I'm doing this because it's super easy. This is another really quick like lunch recipe. I'm using the Arthur Bryant, this is a Kansas City barbecue sauce, and there are 3 total carbohydrates in here and 2 tablespoons. Some of them have upwards of like 14, 15, 20 per 2 tablespoons, and that's way too high for keto. If you're not doing keto, don't worry about it, but if you are doing keto, that's something you should be mindful of. So let's get started on this one. The barbecue chicken is the easy part. The slaw is a little bit more time consuming. So we're gonna start with the slaw. You could use a coleslaw mix, but I have some shredded Brussels sprouts here, and I'm just gonna take a little, like, not pinch, but a little bit more than that, just however much I want to put on my sandwich, because I'm only making 1 sandwich, so I'm not gonna make enough for 4, because it's just me eating this today. And I'm gonna add some mayonnaise. Let's see if I can do the mustard without getting it all over myself. Hey, look at that. And then this time, I'm gonna add a little bit of yogurt. And this is full fat whole milk Greek yogurt, just plain yogurt. And then apple cider vinegar. You could also do lemon juice, but I don't want to cut open a lemon. So I'm just gonna do a teeny bit of this. Set that to the side. Now I need my chicken. And again, however much I want for 1 sandwich. My barbecue sauce. Give it a little bit of a shake. And then I'm only gonna do a tablespoon or two. I don't like really soupy sandwiches. All right, and then this, once I get it stirred together, I'm actually gonna microwave this just for a few seconds because I would like to have a warm barbecue chicken sandwich. You can skip this part if you don't mind eating cold barbecue chicken, but that's what I'm gonna do with mine. I have a bun, and this is a keto hamburger bun. We use these, not sure if you can tell, it's called Sola. We get this in the freezer section at Publix. I'm not sure where all it is sold, but I know that that's where we find it here. And it is fairly high in carbs. There's 6 grams net carbs in one of these buns. They are really thick though. They're like substantial hamburger buns. But since I'm making a meal out of this, I'm really not worried about it having 6 net carbs in it. I don't think that's too many for a meal. So let's assemble. Put my chicken on the bottom. And then my Brussels sprout slaw on the top. All right, there you go. That is one keto barbecue chicken sandwich with a Brussels sprout slaw. Can hardly wait to dig into this one. Our next recipe is the chicken taquitos. I am going to be doubling this batch because I'm making a batch for mom with fajitas and maybe some jalapenos, and there was something else she wanted me to put in them. I don't know, but I'm going to be making 2 batches, one with fajitas and one without, because Emma won't eat them with the fajitas. So I will make one for mom and one for Emma, and I will mark them when I wrap them up. Anyway, I've got the oven preheating to 450 so we can bake them when I'm done wrapping them. And then I've got the stove heating up because I've already chopped my pepper and my onion for the fajitas. I need to shred some cheese, but I'm gonna go ahead and cook the fajitas, and then I'll come back to you when I've got everything prepped and we'll just mix it all together. All right, I'm ready to assemble my taquitos. No, I'm not, hold on. Okay, I'm ready to assemble my chicken taquitos. So I'm gonna start with one 8-ounce brick of cream cheese. And then I'm gonna do 1 cup of shredded cheese, and I like to mix pepper jack and Monterey Jack cheese. The pepper jack doesn't get too spicy, but it gives it a little bit of extra flavor. And then I'm gonna add in my cumin. And my chili powder. Now I'm using an ancho chili powder. You don't have to do this, but this is what I've got, and I think it's nice. And then my chicken. I'm gonna microwave this for a few seconds until the cream cheese warms up just a little bit, and then it should be easier to combine. So I've got everything in the bowl, and I'm gonna microwave it, warm it up, and then come back and stir it some more. All right, since I'm dividing the mixture, I'm gonna put some in another bowl. And this one I'm gonna put the fajitas in. I have my sheet pan, and I've lined it with foil, and then I put in this, it's actually a cookie cooling rack, but it fits perfectly in this sheet pan. And I like to bake the taquitos on this because it allows the air to circulate all around instead of just like on the top, so the air can get underneath, and it works sort of like an air fryer. And then for my tortillas, I'm using these La Banderita carb counter tortillas. I really like these for this because they're so soft. So they're really flexible and bendy, which I appreciate for something like this. I need a spoon. All right, I pack some filling in and then I roll it really tight. Well, just like that. I'm just gonna set it aside. And I know I said I was gonna double this recipe. I lied, I'm out of cream cheese. So I'm only doing half and half because that's what I have to work with. So there you go. All right, so these are all rolled up. These are the ones with fajitas. These four do not have fajitas. They're gonna go into the oven for about 15 minutes. They are gonna bake at 450. I don't spray them with anything. I also don't want them to burn, so I'm going to watch them and check on them after 10 or 12 minutes. And if I'm happy with how they look, I'm gonna take them out. I'm not gonna let them go the full 15 minutes without checking on them because they do tend to go pretty quick. While the taquitos are in the oven, I'm going to start pulling my foil for them. This is what makes them lunchbox friendly. So I need 9 sheets of foil that look exactly like this. All right, through the magic of YouTube and television, the taquitos are done. Notice how they're a little bit golden brown, but not black. Don't want them black. Don't want them to taste like charcoal. Okay. They're very hot, they're sizzly. I'm gonna show you how to wrap one of them. So I'm just gonna take one, place it on the foil, you can see. Tuck up the bottom like you're tucking it into bed. Pull down the top in the same way. And then I fold over and roll it up. There's one taquito, one lunch serving. And now, since I made 2 different kinds, I'm gonna put a P for plain and an F for fajita. And then these go in the fridge just like this. These will keep for several days if you can keep from eating them. But honestly, we kind of can't keep from eating them. So we'll be lucky if these make it 3 days. Just saying. My last recipe of the day is an enchilada casserole. So I have about the appropriate amount of chicken left in here. The recipe calls for 1 pound. This is 1 pound, 2 ounces. I'm just gonna use what's left just because it needs to get gone. And I don't think 2 ounces is gonna matter. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started on the enchilada casserole recipe. This one's gonna start out on the stove. I have a pan. Also, I have the oven preheating to 450. Actually, it's already still hot from the other recipe, but it's heating up to 450. I have my chicken. I'm going to start with a can of enchilada sauce. This is the Old El Paso red enchilada sauce. I also have a little can of diced green chilies. I'm gonna get these in there too. And to that, I'm gonna add my chicken. The idea is to get it all heated up, and we want to get the chicken coated in that enchilada sauce, but everything's already cooked, so we don't have to worry about getting anything to a certain temperature. We really just want to warm it up and maybe reduce the sauce a little bit. I believe this is ready for the next step. Let's move over to the counter. I'm going to stir in some cheese. This is a mixture of Monterey Jack and pepper jack. Bless you. All right, that's mixed in, so I'll set that aside for just a minute. I have a square baking dish. I will spray this with cooking spray. And then I have some shredded cheddar cheese, and I'm gonna put half of this into the bottom of this baking dish, sort of almost to form like a crust. Next goes this chicken mixture. And then on top goes the rest of the cheddar. And then a piece of foil. I want to be sure to put the shiny side down. This is the matte side. Here's the shiny side. And then this goes into the oven at 450 for about 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, I will take the foil off and bake it at 450 for 5 more minutes just to melt and bubble the cheese on top. Okay, it's been 10 minutes. It's time to take the foil off. Whoa, it bubbles. See the bubbles? Tiny bubbles. Back to the oven. It's so pretty and it smells so good and it was so easy. All right, so that has been 4 recipes with shredded rotisserie chicken. All of these are really pretty easy, really pretty fast to make. I also have a white chicken chili recipe. I will put the recipe card to that one at the end of this video just because I already have it done. I'm trying to think of what else you could make. You could make shredded chicken enchiladas instead of the enchilada casserole if you really wanted. There are lots of things you could do, but this is what I put together because this is what we've been eating. So there you go. That is today's video. You guys will see me in another video really soon.